Hi everyone, this is Strong. Pleasure to be here. Welcome to a new week of Strongpod. We're so glad to have you. We have a very special guest, and yeah, let's get this on the road, guys. We're towards the end of our season. We've been doing amazing, and let's do it, guys. Let's have fun. Hi everyone, welcome to a new week of Strongpod. I'm excited to have you guys here. This week we have a very special guest, as always, and they are actually a good friend of mine. We've known each other for years now. I known him from Animal Jam at first, and then we got connected on Instagram. They helped me out in the beginning as well with a few of my other friends who helped me out start up Instagram and get known and learn how to edit and everything. So they definitely helped me out a lot and guided me to where I am today. We have the one and only. He is Dragon Foxy.
Hi Strong, thanks very much for having me on your Strong Pod. It's very, very nice. It's always a pleasure with anything with you involved in it. Let's just get into it. Why don't we? This is going to be very interesting. I can just see it because there's a lot for me to talk about. So let's do it.
So Drag, let's start it off easy. How did you start content creating, and when did you start playing Animal Jam?
So I actually started content creating a very long time ago, and to start with, it was on YouTube when I was quite a bit younger than now, but it wasn't really consistent as well edited as my content now that I post on Instagram. And I mean, sometimes YouTube are not very much now, but it still counts to me as a creation. I don't know. And I still vividly remember my old videos quite a bit. And to answer your second question, I started playing in Animal Jam in around I'd probably say around late 2017 to early 2018. I think it was probably more towards 2018, but yeah, that's when I first started playing actively, and I just completely fell in love with the game. I absolutely loved it when I first started playing, and I've just started playing ever since. Carried on.
So, as most of the community may know you, and known maybe your past or whatever it might be in a good or bad way, how have you become so well known, and how have you made yourself known in this community?
That is a really interesting question, Strong. Because the thing is, there is no concrete answer to that, because I've been known in the community for quite a lot of different things. Really, I've been known for being, very engaging and associated with maybe, the most popular and celebrity, worthy jammers in the community. For example, I used to be really popular on Wisteria Moon's live streams when she used to do them, but she kind of stopped, and I was kind of sad about that. And I used to, give her super chats, and I got really known because of that. But I became really popular in January and February last year when I restarted my page, my Instagram account, and started, doing art and, for the jambassadors, and started just being really focused, like, on being popular and just being really present, if that makes sense.
So, what are your future goals? And I know you just came back, or you're off and on. I know you've been off and on for a little bit now. And now that you seem to be more back now and uplifted and better mindset, please tell me, like, what are some of your future goals, maybe for your content creation, your Animal Jam, playing and such, and tell us what you plan on doing and continue doing, or maybe stopping.
Goals, let's see. I don't really have any solid future goals. But what I will say is my main focus for the future is to just be a little bit more uplifting, a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more positive, and not be so negative, and to be more pleasant. Just as also to be a bit more respected by others in a way. But I guess one of my goals would be to reach 2,000 followers by the end of the year, or I mean sooner than that. I mean, if it was sooner, I'd be very, very satisfied. Trust me on that. Which I think it's very achievable. And obviously, as I've said, I'd like to be more favoured and supported and followed honestly by more famous people, or just a wider, newer audience in the community. Really.
So, this is a field I know a lot in for years, and I'm pretty sure you know quite a bit as well. And I know you have your own pack too, with, I believe, Pink Pinel. And yeah, so what is your opinion on pack runs and pack as a whole? Like packs, pack runs, and all that, the community, etc. So just dive into that.
Oh dear, where do I start with this question? It's a bit of an interesting field. I'm glad you brought it up. I have very mixed opinions on packs as a whole, because I've had some really, really nice encounters with packs, and honestly, it's how I've met some of my friends that I still talk to now. A few of them, not too many of them, but a few of them. But I've also had some quite negative experiences with packs, whether that's feeling burnt out from running, or something something completely different, whatever that may be. But I do somewhat like packs. As you mentioned, I am leader of the Spinals pack, but I like to say the Spinals pack, which I absolutely love. Pink Spinal is an absolutely amazing friend of mine, and she's a very great content creator and artist, and I'm really glad she came back. I was very, very pleased with that when she came back. But going back to packs, I just find the entire system of pack running and running for a pack a little bit of a waste of time nowadays, if that makes sense. I just don't really understand the point of it anymore. I just think what's the point of spending so much time collecting items for your pack just to up a number on a screen and to be supposedly better than the pack below you. I'm not gonna name or shoot any pack down in general, but that's what it all boils down to in a way. And I know also with my experience, because I have been quite a few packs before, that packs seem to have these really, I'm gonna say, childish rivalries. I know some of them are a bit different, but some of them have these rivalries against each other, against higher or lower packs below them, and I just find them really annoying how they just can't coexist peacefully together, and they have to just be generally mean to each other. And it's it's a game. Why can we not just be here peacefully? Why do you have to be mean and causing a nuisance to just be generally annoying and hateful? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so next, what is your biggest achievement you have conquered in your time of playing Animal Jam or making Animal Jam content?
So this is it's quite a tricky question for me to answer, because I feel like I have accomplished quite a lot in my time as being a Animal Jam creator. I'd probably have to say that my biggest achievement was being able to give Apari, as everyone will know, my masterpiece to him, and now he put that in his den, and it's displayed there forever, and people will be able to see that for years, and it's gonna be really, it's gonna be a well-known masterpiece, and it's gonna get loads of likes, and it's gonna be seen by people every single day. And I was also able to give him some other den items, masterpiece wallpaper, masterpiece flooring, and even a master track by Future Pirate, to improve his den, I felt really honoured to be able to do that. However, I could also say that probably all my friends I've made is one of my biggest achievements, because, you know, yourself included, as well as like Pink, Spinel, L, Coyote, Empire, Toffee Bell, you know, all them. I'm really happy I've been able to meet such nice people in the community, and I hope I will continue to make new friends and stay friends with you all. It's just been a blessing to me, to be quite honest with you.
So, as many may know, it may be actually the reason people know you, or maybe not, but why have you been quite controversial in the past? And this is a personal question as well. Do you think that you are going to be controversial from now on? Because I know you said you changed a little bit. So just take us in if you're still going to be that, or so halfway. So dive us into that.
So yeah, I have been quite controversial and hated in the past, and, you know, I won't shy away from it, because it has been, you know, it has been quite difficult on my part. I have posted some questionable things on the direction of the community, how, like, a lot of people have just resorted to making posts instead of video content. Sorry. I did have some very strong views on this, and I know that I have upset some people, and I do sort of regret it now, looking back on it. I've also had a few issues with, you know, some jambassadors, which, you know, we'll get into on the next question. But to answer your second question, no, I really do not want to be controversial or hated anymore. I really don't want to be that, and I mean that. I don't want people to hate me at all. So I'm trying to be more positive and more reserved, and, you know, just be more mindful about what I say now. But yeah, I just don't want to be controversial anymore. I want to be popular, and I mean, I'm popular, which is good, but I want to be popular for the right reasons, and I want everyone to just like me, you know.
Next, so I know you had controversial with the jambassadors, or, you know, let's not say the jambassadors, let's say a few of the jambassadors, and I know some people maybe twisted the story or may not know the full story. So please tell us the full story of what happened between you and a few of the jambassadors, and take us into how you feel about them, based on what they did to you or what you did to them, and just your point of view on the whole story.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, I have had some issues with certain jambassadors, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want to cause any problems for anyone, but I will try to tell you what happened. But, you know, it's nearly 2 years ago, I think, when it all started. So I actually did message a jambassador asking if I could get a photo with them in a few years from when I messaged them that. The reason why I actually asked this is because I really looked up to this particular jambassador, which I've said I'm not going to name, and I saw other jambassadors like Wisteria Moon and Twinkle and some other popular ones, you know, like the rare celebrity worthy ones. They were meeting up with like grown up jammers, and I kind of aspired to do this too. However, it was never going to happen, and it was never going to go down well. And I really did regret asking that afterwards. But they did say that they'd never do that with anyone, with any of the other jambassadors either. So they respectfully declined, and I did respect that, of course. Then I think probably about 2 weeks later, I discovered that the jambassador had actually gone and blocked me on Instagram and also Discord when I tried to communicate with him again. And, you know, rightly so. I mean, you know, it it was a completely inappropriate thing to ask. And you know, it was definitely appropriate to block me and cease communication. Absolutely, but here's where it gets kind of worse. And then suddenly after that, a swarm of other jambassadors also took the decision to cease contact with me and also block me as well. At the time, I was really upset by this. I was really infuriated, like, because I didn't know why at all at the time. I didn't understand it at all, because it just didn't cross my mind it was this at first. I remember the situation quite well. I had literally just got off my plane from my holiday. We was in Antalya, Turkey. We'd landed back at my local airport. I've just come home from my holiday, and I was walking to the baggage area, the baggage reclaim carousel, and I saw all these messages from people saying what had happened. And as at that point, I did make a post about it, and a few other people messaged them about it and told them what it was to do with a miscommunication of some kind. However, this is likely the reason that I got blocked. But however, there was another reason why I think that I could have been blocked as well. And this is what kind of frustrates me even more. So around that time in February, as you all know, because you are my friend, of course, I actually made a huge dent with so much Jambassador art and also a masterpiece description of the Jambassadors, saying what achievements they'd done, and just how amazing they were, really. And I did this the idea was to educate the Jammers that were on social media, that, you know, because most children don't have access to YouTube or social media. They might have access to YouTube, but definitely not Instagram or, I mean, even TikTok. I mean, the community used to, I mean, it's kind of got a bit popular there, but, so yeah, I wanted to educate the Jammers on how amazing the Jambassadors were, and how I really looked up to them. However, the reason could be to do with the Jambassadors maybe not liking the descriptions that I wrote about them, or, you know, maybe they thought that I was trying to cause a problem, and I really, really wasn't. What frustrates me the most is I cannot be 100% sure where I went wrong, and this is going to always eat into my head, probably forever, until maybe they decide to forgive me, which I don't think they will, but, you know, I can live with that now. Was it the message, or was it the museum? I don't know. I literally do not know. I guess we won't find out for quite some time, unless they, you know, I've already said that they probably won't forgive me, but yeah, I understand and accept why they don't like me, but I truthfully did not mean for any of this to happen at all. I also got, I know it's not really to do with it, well, kind of is actually, but let me just say, I also got banned from the Club Geo's Discord server in about, I think it was March or April, because I'd been in it for a bit, because, you know, I was quite a big fan of Wisteria Moon then. But yeah, I got removed from it, but it didn't really matter actually, because the server, then a few months after that, the server literally had to be taken down because of the Asteralium issue, so, you know, what can I say? So yeah, it's kind of a long, unhappy situation, which I'm not proud of it, but it was almost 2 years ago now, and I've moved on from it, and I'm a very different person now. I just don't want people to look at me differently, because of this. It was a very long time ago. It's not who I am anymore. I've completely changed, and as you'll know now from the new content that I'm making, I've been very, very liked. And yeah, I hope I can sustain that, and I hope I can pursue what I want to do by, you know, reaching 2,000 followers and, you know, being more respected, you know.
Lastly, so now my final question for you is, are you planning to be here more long term, off and on? Are you quitting? because I know you've been off and on for a little bit now. And yeah, so I'm wondering, and I'm pretty sure everyone else is wondering, are you coming back? Are you not? And yeah, and just if you've anything you want to tell the community, you are more than welcome to tell them. And yeah, I appreciate you being on Strongpod, and hopefully you guys all enjoyed this episode. So let's hear it.
Yes, I am planning to be here for quite a while now. I'm just making my own content at my own pace, and I'm just being more focused on being positive and, you know, my own person. But yeah, thank you for having me on the Strongpod, Strong. I appreciate it, and I appreciate literally anyone that takes the time to watch this and you know just not be so judgy and about anything what we've talked about. So yeah, thanks for having me. Very, very, very appreciate. It's been a very, you know, it's kind of been an enjoyable experience. I mean, even though we've not talked about the most positive things, it's been very enjoyable. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I've known you for a while now, years, and we definitely had our bumps in the road, and we talked about, everything you and I have done. And yeah, I'm glad to see that you're back and that you're here for a change and here for the better. And that's all we could ask, right? And there's always forgiveness, there's always second chances, and I'm sure you're gonna make a really, really big good impact. So yes. Anyways, thank you, Dragon. Hopefully you guys all found this very helpful. This is a very long one. It's actually gonna be my second longest Strong Pod. Last week I believe was my first longest. 25 minutes, almost half an hour. Is crazy. I'm going too long with these. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Everyone who listened to this far, I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are real ones. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week with another special guest.